final episode of Dispatch has been out for a little while now, and overall, the entire game has been received incredibly well. Of course, it's not hard to see why, as the idea of being a dispatcher for superheroes is an incredibly interesting take on the superhero formula. What's been even more impressive is how much choice there actually is in this narrative-driven game, or more so specifically, the degree to which these choices matter towards the ending. So much so that people are actually complaining that the game is glitched because many players keep getting the bad ending. Narrative choices and impactful decision making has been things that gamers have wanted out of RPGs since practically the inception of video games themselves. It's something that makes both the story and the game itself feel more reactive and responsive to the player themselves. So you'll imagine my complete lack of surprise when so many players are getting the bad ending to this narrative-driven game because they either aren't playing the role that they're given or they aren't making wise decisions with relation to the actual story. There's also the whole Robert mentor counter thing, which I can see as a valid argument against the specific calculations that the final game went with, but that's a whole other conversation. The point of this video is to ask the basic question of how players think about choice when it comes to impactful decision making, and whether or not it's something that works well in a strictly narrative-driven game. The biggest thing that sets Dispatch apart from games like Disco Elysium or Baldur's Gate 3 is the fact that it's such a strictly narrative-focused game that places you in the role of a very specific character. A game like Red Dead Redemption 2 could be seen as more alike to games similar to Dispatch. However, the ending of that game really only changes based on your karma, whereas in Dispatch, for the sake of simplicity, it's how well you do at your job. Because you're placed in a specific role with a specific objective, the outcome of the game is the decisions you make based on how well you can play the role that you were given, rather than the moral justification for your decisions like there would be in Fallout New Vegas. In New Vegas, your Courier 6 is literally whoever you want them to be, and you can do basically whatever you want. And the end of the game changes based on your own justifications for the actions you make. In Dispatch, you play specifically as the character of Robert, and your job is specifically to dispatch superheroes and to help guide supervillains along the transitional road to becoming heroes. Is the nature of a role-playing game more expressive when you can create your own original character, or more engaging in giving the player the opportunity to step in and fulfill a specific role? That's something that, unfortunately, only you can decide for yourself. All I know is that in this specific context, if you're blaming the game for being glitched but you're bad at your job or neglectful of the people you're responsible for, you're not looking for impactful decisions. You're just looking for a game where you can be a terrible person without consequences. Which kind of explains why Fallout New Vegas is still so popular. Go figure. Or the RMC just hates you. What the fuck do I know? Like and follow for more, and check @FollowRotoshi on all other socials.